Up next on Sci-Fi Fantasy, Greenstrawberry's aftermarket set for the Mobius Mark I Viper. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from Sci-Fi Fantasy and welcome to another YouTube video. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification icon and throw a like on the video because it actually helps the channel out. So today we're going to be taking a look at the aftermarket set for the Mobius Viper Mark II in 1/32 scale. And as always, we'd like to thank Lucas and Susanna from Greenstrawberry for sending over the product so we can check it out and then we can show you what's in the box and where it goes. Luckily enough for me, I actually have this kit, so we'll try to compare some of the parts in this review video, unlike just looking at the parts like we usually do. So, enough blabbering out of me as usual. Let's get over to the bench and check out what's going on. So today we're going to look at product FP19. FP stands for Fruit Pack for the TOS Viper from Mobius Models. In the box comes the intake and nozzles, the cockpit, side panels, wheel bay, and exterior. So let's open up the box and see what we got inside. And this is what comes in a fruit pack. It is a plethora of extra pieces for your kit. You have 5 photo etch, 1 acetate piece, masking, vacuum form canopy, 3 bags of resin, and 5 sets of directions. So we'll go through all this and we'll show you what we have. We're gonna go over the directions. I'm not gonna go over all 5 of them. I looked through them. I didn't see anything marked improperly. All the directions are pretty good. You have your standard Greenstrawberry directions with your keys and everything up here. And then it goes down into building. This one for the engine is just a single sheet on the front and back. Some of the other directions are multiple pages. So you just got to keep your directions with which parts you're working with so you don't get confused and everything will be all right. But again, all 5 sheets of these look good. They correspond with what they're supposed to, and for the most part, they are clear and not jumbled up. So this is the masking set for the canopy. It's a little difficult to see on camera, but hopefully slowly moving it, you can see all the laser mark. This comes in the kit so you can mask off your window, and then you'll be able to paint it a little bit easier. The kit comes with a vacuum formed canopy. If you can see, hopefully there's little markings on the back here and down the sides where you cut the canopy out. It is a little bigger. I'll pick this one up in a second than the canopy that comes with the kit. And you also will have to use photo etch to put the bars across for the canopy itself. This is the canopy that comes with the kit. This one's nice and clear. It's a little smaller. I haven't put it onto the kit yet because the body comes in 2 halves of the Viper. I wanted to see what they look like. Me, personally, I am never a fan of vacuum form for some reason. Either I cut them and I mess it up, or I always think that the solid plastic looks better. But that's just my personal opinion. A lot of people do like the vacuum form set compared to this. I don't know which one I'll use. I'll probably try to get this one together. I'll put the brass on there, cut it out as best I can, and then I'll fit them both to see which one looks actually better on top of the ship. This photo etch fret is for the vacuum form canopy that we just saw. You have the bars right here that'll go around the side, the top, also the side. It has raised rivet detail, which looks nice. I'm actually going to try to fit this onto the original cockpit if I can, but I doubt it because the aftermarket cockpit looks a little bit bigger, or I should say the cockpit canopy looks a little bit bigger than the kit provided part, so we'll have to take a look. But as always, the brass looks nice. I like the raised detail rivets on here. You can actually feel them when you run your finger across, so it's really nice. I'm kind of hoping this fits on the canopy for the original kit. This piece isn't an exterior piece. This is actually a brace. You're going to have to cut some parts out on the nozzles to slide this guy in. One of the nozzles will go here and then it slides in over here and here. So this is internal bracing. This isn't going to add to detail, but it's going to add to holding up the pieces that you need to hold up. Okay, I'm going to show you the kit provided part first. This is what we're going to be talking about. These intake nozzles here. You can see like the fan blades in there and the cone. So the next few pieces I'm going to go over are going to replace that on the kit. Okay, this is the ribbing that's supposed to replace the ribbing that I showed you on the original kit piece that was going up the sides. There's 3 pieces, and then I'll show you the resin piece that they go with after this. These are the resin caps that go over those pieces right there. They're cast nicely, they're nice and smooth. That was the previous ribbing that I showed you. This is the piece that goes on top of those to replace that cone that was in the middle of the other intake that I showed you before. They're done up really nicely, and now I'll show you the next piece in this part set. Okay, these 3 pieces are another part to the 2 sets I just showed you before. These are gonna end up in the nozzles, and I'll show you where they end up. But again, these are nicely cast, very crisp and clean. The circles are really nice. Can't really fault anything on these at all. So I just want to show you what I'm finding on these 3 pieces combined, because I am a little confused about how it goes. Okay, so these are the same 3 pieces I showed you before. And what happens is you put the brass will end up like that on them. And then when you have these, if I can hold it right, well, I'll hold that there. And the caps go on top of these. Now, the cap goes on here beforehand, and these pieces actually go into another part of the ship that I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to show you where I'm really confused about these big guys here. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, the previous 3 pieces that I was just talking to you about actually go here. Once this is all built up, this piece in here slides right in the front piece. I'm trying to give you guys an idea of what we're going here. So that'll go there once it's all built together, and then I'm going to show you on the instructions too as to why I'm confused. So let me show you the next piece that we're talking about. Okay, so this is the front intake of the nozzles where we're talking about those previous pieces. You'll end up seeing this guy over here, if you can see it up there, or down here, and that's fine. Those fit in there pretty nicely. Now what I'm confused about, and I'll show you like I said on the directions in a second, is that guy is massive. That is not fitting in there, and on the directions, which I'm going to show you here in a second, doesn't show bending or anything like that. I don't know if you have to cut them down to size, and according to the directions, this goes in after those pieces. This is like the last piece. So let me bring you over to the directions and I'll show you on there. Okay, so on the directions, they're showing you put that resin piece that I was telling you about here onto the photo etch here, the same thing down here, except you're going to do this one twice. And then the directions are showing you to put that whole piece into the nozzles here without any bending or anything like that. It's showing you going straight into the nozzle, which it's not going to fit. You're going to destroy that piece if you try to just jam it in there. It's going to get all bent up. And the front of the nozzle, if you look at the actual ship, will not have any ribbing there. So here's my plan to rectify that situation. Let me take you over and I'll show you something. Okay, as you can see, those pieces are overly big, and like I showed you on the other cone, that is definitely going to get ruined if you try to do that as the last step, pushing them in there. I don't know if it was meant to be like that, but the directions are showing it like that. So what I would do is I would build these first like this. I would put the photo etch piece on here, the cap on here, and then test fit to see if it fits in from the back, which I don't think it will because these resin pieces fit in there nice and tight. I would cut down these little spokes to fit the size of this and push it in from the back, because the nozzle aperture is not supposed to have any ribbing in it at all. So you may want to go around the directions on this one, put these pieces all together, trim down your photo etch to size, and then put it in. I wouldn't follow the directions on that, because if you try to shove them in through the front, you're just going to ruin this piece. You're going to bend the crap out of it and you're going to get frustrated. So this is part of the exhaust nozzle. As you can see, there's really nice detail inside. There's really nice detailed ribbing over here. And this one, if you follow, you got to follow the directions. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little line down here that you have to cut. And once you cut that off, hopefully you do it straight and you don't lose the detail in there. I think it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt for lighting. I don't know if those are raised off the bottom or not without cutting it. If they're not, then you're going to have to clean up all those little holes if you're going to decide to light this, which may be a little bit problematic. especially with the size of those holes. So let me show you where this goes on to the kit. This is the piece of the kit here that we're going to use this piece on. So actually it just fits in right in there, nice and snug. And like I said, cutting this brick off, I don't know how well that's going to do, but let me get that in there if I can. And you can see the detail in there. So hopefully when we cut this pour stub off, that it leaves everything open and we don't have to do any extra work. If you do have to do extra work, just be careful. You don't want to ruin the pieces that you have inside there. So this is the clear piece of acetate for your control panels. I'm trying to use my camera flashlight just to give you an idea of the detail that they put into these little things. You'll be able to put them behind your control panels and light them up, and you'll see them in the cockpit. This is actually a pretty cool feature of the kit. So these are the two sensor arrays that are meant for the side of the fuselage. Very nicely detailed, raised detail. The detail on here is actually different than what's on the side of the fuselage, and I'll show you that in a second here. So this is the kit provided part, and the sensor array or mechanical electronics, whatever's on the side here. That's the piece. It's more of a deep well look to it, and then you could put either one of these by cutting this whole piece out and putting in the green strawberry piece there. That'll be your choice. In my personal opinion, I think they both look good. I would probably end up cutting this one out, so this one's a little more raised and flush with the surface, but this one and this one both look good to me. This one's more crisply detailed than this piece though. So definitely your choice. I would probably prefer the green strawberry piece in there over this piece. Okay, these three little pieces, these are simple. They're just to hold up your canopy. So there's no great detailing or anything like that on here. They are small and fragile. On the directions, I only noticed it in one spot, so they probably gave you extras because they are small and fragile, just in case you break one. If that's the case, good job, green strawberry. And here's your flight control stick. Another small piece, so be careful cutting this off that it doesn't go flying and the carpet monster or anything gets you. You can actually see there's it looks like three little control buttons on it, but they did a nice job on this guy too. Okay, you may have noticed on the Mobius kit part, the canopy has that big clear thing in the back. This replaces that part. So this is the long piece behind there to sit in. It also has the headrest for your pilot, and that's the little hole for the last piece I showed you to hold up the canopy. This is nice and crisp, clean, no flash, you know, perfect green strawberry casting as always. Now I'm going to show you the tub of the ship, which I'm pretty excited about this part. So this is the Mobius kit part. You can see control panels, the control panel up front there. There's no definition to the headrest. The seat is just a big blob of seat, so wah, wah, wah. Pretty poor on the tub. I mean, it's nice for a basic tub, but nothing spectacular in there. Now let's look at the green strawberry tub. So this is the tub for the green strawberry aftermarket set. You can see the defined seat in there. Actually, you can't see it. Maybe you can see the lighting coming through the sides, but you're gonna cut out all these pieces. You can probably see it here. This is better. You can cut out these pieces, and that's where you're going to put those photo etch control panels that I'm going to show you, plus the lighting behind there, so you'll get those grids and everything that was on the controls. And while I'm here, let me hold this guy here and I'll show you that other piece. And this piece will slide right into there, and you can see the headrest is defined. The seat isn't just a big blob, and this guy's a lot tighter. So hopefully I can hold this with one hand, and I'll bring the other one in too. You can see that the original piece is wider. There's no definition to the seat. The controls are nice, but that would be a pain in the neck to try to cut those out. You could get the regular green strawberry set if you don't want to get the whole resin tub and cut those out and put the photo etch in this tub. But I would pick this tub a million times over this one. This piece of photo etch is the floor plate for the tub. This way you'll be able to put pedals and a few other instrumentational devices on here, so definitely more added detail to the cockpit. One thing is we're sad. Little green strawberry down here lost his smile. Boo! So this Freda PE is where you're going to bring your cockpit to life. This has your pedals, your instrumentation, other device clusters that are just going to pop and bring that guy to life. Again, PE is nice and crisp. Everything's cut very well. And where is he? Our little green strawberry down here, though, he's smiling. Unlike the last one, I feel bad for him. He lost his smile. But another very nice set of PE that, like, you can see my finger through all this. So that's where you're going to put that acetate behind here, and you'll be able to light it up from behind and see all those little controls. It's nice that this is in 1/32 instead of 1/72, so they were able to make that acetate so you can see what's behind there. The bigger the scale, the better, just so we can get that much more detail out of it. Now this set of photo etch, again, is going to be for the hull of the Viper. This one actually, this piece feels a little on the thicker side. This is nice and sturdy, but this is going to go on top of the Viper. These pieces will go together, and this will go on top of here. Just make sure you follow the directions, this way you can see it right. And I'll pop it on the ship real quick so you can see where this goes. So this piece of photo etch goes right here at the front of the cockpit, just to add that little extra detail. I think it is a little more raised, and then the cockpit canopy, you'll be able to sit on it over there. So that's where this is going to go, and add just a little bit more detail. And this is the last sheet of photo etch in the set. This one, you'll have the inside the nose scoop. You'll have the two pieces there to put in. A lot of this is for your landing gear and for your bays. It's going to enhance it even more up in the wheel bays. I know a lot of people, you're not going to see the wheel bays, but if you do make this kit in landing gear and put, say, the reflective plexiglass or a mirror under there, you'll be able to see all this extra detail that you'll put in. I think this one's for the legs. This is definitely for the nose cone. These are for the bays. So you just have a ton of stuff that you can add and just make it look a lot better. If you're actually going to put it in flight mode, a lot of this stuff you won't use unless you can figure out some way to change it from flight mode to landed mode. So you just got to make the decision as what you want to do. And again, as always, we'd like to thank Lucas and Susanna and everybody at Green Strawberry for sending over the kit. This way we could check it out and show you what was in there, and you get to see if you want to buy this kit or not. It's a very nice kit. This is for the Mark I or TOS Viper in 1/32 scale from Mobius Models. The only thing that I found weird was that one part that it was the grating that goes inside. I really think if you do it from behind, you put it together first, clip those down and put it from behind, it'll sit where it's supposed to sit, or you might have to adjust just a little bit. You're never going to get that part in the front. If somebody has done that part, I haven't done the kit yet, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see your video or pictures of how you actually did that part, because to me it's just too big to fit in the front. Otherwise, this is an excellent kit. I really love the cockpit on this. It's really detailed nicely, and once you get those control panels in there, and especially if you light it up, it's going to look totally awesome. So thanks again, everybody, for stopping by and checking out another unboxing. Look forward to the next one. We're going to be doing the Voyager 677 scale, I think that one is. It's the bigger Voyager, not the new one 1000 scale. But if you checked out Green Strawberry on Facebook, you can see that they're in the middle of doing a set for that one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and notification icon on the video. It helps us out, and it'll bring you more videos from HobbyLink International. So everybody have a great night. Take care. We'll see you all soon, and bye-bye.